Good evening or good afternoon. Is it good morning? I'm very confused with time with my country. I don't know what time it is. It's 16:50, so it's good afternoon. I'm Annie Banda, as she said, a mother, a granny, and a mother of everybody else in Malawi, most of the young ones. As she said, I'm going to talk about the strategies on this time of HIV and AIDS. My friend has talked about so many things that have happened, so many research that have been done, but what is the strategy? We have to strategize on how these things have to be done. And what I'm going to talk about is what is working, what I have done as a person, as an organization, and what has worked in Malawi. And I feel if some people want to use it, it also works because I have the evidence. So I'll talk about the stepping stones as a strategy for safety in this time of HIV. I think, as you can remember, she also talked about high prevalence rate in the stable families. So this strategy helps to prevent the spread of HIV. The aim of the initiative is to work towards reducing intimate partner violence, issues that were identified. We did the research as an organization, and we identified that intimate partner violence is high in our country. And I think Audrey also talked about this, that it also happens in her country, so which means it's similar in most of the countries. And also, this initiative aims at enhancing couple communication on decision-making in relation to sex, SRH, through redefined couple communication and dialogue. This is what we found, that there's no couple communication. As a result, HIV was spread. This research was done. I have a copy of the results that were found on this research. And also, we are going to aim at engaged communication towards creating an enabling environment for people living with HIV and reducing gender-based violence. Key results or changes that men and women are able to collectively decide on their sex and sexuality issues with reduced dominance of men. On this one, somebody was going to ask me, you are a women organization, and why are you talking about men? Now, as my organization, we've worked for so many years alone as women. We've tried so many initiatives. What we saw that our initiatives were increasing or were fueling up the GBV. Because as a woman, if I get something new, go to the house and talk about it to my husband, then my husband was saying, who are you to tell me this? So what we discovered was that if we tell a couple on something, when they go back home, they remind each other, they will say, we learned about this and we did this. So that's why we now want to include men for something to happen or for things to go on very well. And somebody will say, now, is it still a women organization? Yes, it's still a women organization because this woman living with HIV is an entry point. So as an entry point, when I'm going for this intervention, I have to bring this man with me. And this man is not any man from the street, it's a couple, it's my partner. I didn't say a husband, but my partner, somebody I partner with at any time. So reduction in cases of intimate partner violence, physically, psychologically, sexually. As she said, these were the things that we found, that physically, psychologically, and sexually, the partners were violating each other. So these were reported by beneficiaries that we interviewed. So there's also an increased condom use among PL-HIV, people living with HIV, resulting in reduced unwanted pregnancies. There was reduced alcoholism, which is an agent of violence of SRHR. Somebody asked me, why is alcoholism an agent of SRHR? You know, this is what we found out, that most of the men that we interviewed, when they come back home drunk, they could not accept use of condom. They could just sleep with their women just like that, plain. And also, they could even sleep with any woman wherever they are, wherever they find a woman, wherever they feel like sleeping with a man. I'm talking about feeling like sleeping with a man, because that, you know, can even happen when somebody is drinking, wherever he is. I'll not talk about the place where the person is. So, this intervention that we did showed us that it really reduced alcoholism, which in the long run reduced the gender-based violence that was happening in people's homes. And also, this reduced the multiple and concurrent sexual partnership. How was that happening? You know, it's happening because what we got from the people we interviewed was that when they are in their home and there's that good communication I've talked about, you know, as people that are here, I know each one of us at one point or another, please, if you didn't do it, I apologize. At one point or another, we had sex, and that sex, if there was no communication, it wasn't a good one. As a result, if I am not satisfied, I'll talk about me. If I'm not satisfied, I'll look for something else. So, if I'm looking for something else, it means I'll look for another man. Then the multiple word comes in. So we saw that this intervention helped to reduce the multiple concurrent sexual partnership, because in my home, because of communication, I told my partner when, what, how, and where I wanted the sex to be done. Then I was satisfied. I didn't want anybody else. I'm talking about I, because I don't want to be caught that, why were you saying that? I'm talking about me. I get satisfied. I talked about it with my husband. We communicated very well. I told him when I wanted it, how I wanted it, where I wanted it, what time, where he should touch me. Then I got satisfied. So because I was satisfied and I died, then there was no way I would go out of the house to get that satisfaction. That way, we've discovered in our research that people now, if they are HIV positive couple, the positiveness or the virus was in that house. It cannot go out. If this couple is HIV negative, negativity was in that house. Nobody was going out to bring in the virus. So you can see that's how there's connection between this using of that intervention I was talking about and the reduction of HIV/AIDS spread. Now, somebody will say, because I know stepping stones has been done in different countries in a different way. But in my country, we modified the stepping stones to suit our country and to suit our people and also to suit the target group that we wanted. So how did we do it? The first step was we conducted a formative research on what issues were being faced by the intended beneficiaries. And in this case, the beneficiaries were the women living with HIV. And the second step was putting the research findings into practice, and we adapted the stepping stones, as I said, and to the targeted communities that we worked with. Then thirdly, we conducted a training of trainers, of couples, where we brought couples together, trained them for them to multiply the training to their communities. And you know, it takes somebody to talk about whatever you do to the people that you know. I'm talking to all of you. I know there are only a few that know me who take it like this. Some of you just, somebody from Malawi was talking about this. So that's why we had these stewards, because when they see that this couple has really changed, this woman is not going around, or this man is not going around, when they talk to the other couples in their communities, they take it very, very positively, and they were taking it that this is really the right thing to do, because we've seen that man changing, we've seen that woman changing. So this is how we did it, and it has worked. I'm talking about something that has worked and is working. And the first stage was to roll out the community workshop by the trained couples, the TOTs. Now, the evidence is the key for the relevance of adapting methodology, e.g. the sexual violence variable as below. So this is part of what was in the research, that 41% of the respondents reported to have suffered sexual violence in the past 12 months, according to the time that we are doing that research. And more women suffered sexual violence. Can you see that woman now has suffered more? Because in my culture, a woman cannot go and say and propose a man. So as a result, if they were being violated sexually, they just sit down in the house and cry and wait for this man to come again, while this man goes out and spread the virus. And also, the reasons for difference revolve around power relation in decision-making, in usage of condom. As I said, that when a woman is taught on her own on the use of condom, if she goes back home to tell the husband, we have to use the condom, then the man will say, what are you talking about? I'm
sorry, we'll have to round up now, Annie?
Yes?
Yes, I will have to round up now. If you just round up now.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So, to give, I was rounding up and now you're telling me. Okay, so I just want to tell you about the case study that I had. I have one of the case studies. So many are in the magazines, in our website that you are going to see, but I just want to show you this one. As she's saying, the man used to beat me up, particularly when I insisted on using a condom, and I went on HIV testing and was found positive. The doctor advised them to use the condoms, and the man was refusing. Now, when we brought them to the training, the man now started using the condom, and this is now the man and the husband. You can see in my culture, seeing a man and a woman doing that, it means that's really love, because that's not common. And you know, for us to see people kissing or doing what in public, it's not our culture. But after training them, after teaching them, they saw that this is a good thing because this is my own man, and even anyone sees me, there's nothing wrong. And the man also sees the woman, and if any woman sees him touching that woman, then nothing is wrong, because that's the only man, that's the only woman that she can sleep with and get satisfied. So that's the strategy we've taken. We have strategized in using the stepping stones. It has worked and it's working. Thank you so much.
Thank you.